Hello, my YouTube friends. Thanks for joining in tonight. Oh man, if you haven't hit that subscribe button, right down snare, wrap it up on that baby, man, and slam that bell out of the park and get you a grand slam tonight. Ah, I love it, man. I get so pumped up, man, talking about all kind of great recording tips, how to, what to, and not to. That's what we do on the Audio Master Show, man. We got it going on. And thank you guys so much for joining tonight. We have a great thing that we're going to talk about. I've been having some people write in on how to record in a closet. How many of you guys, man, have a closet that you've tried turning into a vocal booth? I gotta laugh about it, man, because I know everybody that I know that has that gets a little recording studio going always wants to make a little beautiful little vocal booth outside of their studio so that their vocalists can get in there with a little window and whatnot and all the little padded up and the whole 9 yards. Go ahead and put you a nice condenser microphone in there, man, and we're gonna try to get it to sound good, right? I love it, man. And here's the thing I want to tell you this so imperative. If you do not know about how to record in a small closet, man, I got some great tips tonight for you, man. Oh, it's going to help you tremendously. And it's this littlest thing that you would never, ever really think about doing, right? I know the first time that ever I was putting together a little studio and actually was building an adjacent vocal booth room. Man, I mean, I tore that closet all apart, man, and I was going to make it as tight and as sealed as possible. I was going to make sure even the door, when the door is shut, it had rubber seal jams in it that was just going to seal it right up, man. And you were just going to be in this pristine um, closet that was completely soundproof from the rest of the world, right? And I remember putting it together and everything, and actually getting in there with my, I think one of the first microphones that I put in that closet was a AKG C414 silver face mic, the old one, and I thought I was just going to be able to do the best tracking in there, man. Excuse me. But here's the thing. After getting in there and shutting the door and everything, and actually listening back some of the vocal tracks, I was actually getting a lot of the closet um, into the microphone. So, in other words, even though the vocals were going into the microphone, you could still hear the size of the closet. I know that sounds crazy, but, I was hearing in the track the size of my closet, and it wasn't as great as I thought it was gonna be, okay? So, here's a number one tip I wanna say for you guys because I know a lot of you guys are limited on space, and space is so crucial as far as getting a great vocal track into to set in the mix because typically a lot of us like to record without any reverb and we like to record as dry as possible and then come back in later on and add that reverb to the track as far as what size of room, the delays we're going to put on, and all that other good stuff. We like to save that for the last on the mix, man. Now, a lot of times you'll have a vocalist and they want to hear a little bit of delay. They want to hear a little bit of reverb or whatnot in on the mix. For some reason, a lot of vocalists think they just sound better or sing better or can get into the mood a little more when you have a little bit of effects on the vocal processing. So, but here's the thing, man. What I ran across was whenever I'd shut the door and I was in that small closet because it was a small closet, I would say probably about 3 foot wide and about 6 foot long. Okay. And when I set up my microphone in there, I was hearing the size of that closet. And I want to tell you, some of my best recordings in that closet was when I had the door open. Okay, so in other words, even though I was in a closet, I had the door open to the studio. And what I found out in that by doing so, I wasn't hearing the size of the closet by just simply opening the door. I was still able to, um, capture some great tracks, but it was only because I was opening that door and the sound wasn't just sealed in that room. In other words, it was letting some of that sound out and not back into the microphone. And so, but here's the catch, man. This is what I want to say is so important for you guys. I know there's a lot of small vocal booths, and a lot of us aren't fortunate enough to have a nice 8x8 or something of that size closet where we can get in and do our magic in. Now, if some of my best recordings for recording vocals are in the studio itself, in the same room with the preamps and the monitors and everything else. But here's the thing, man, you can't do it in there with a condenser microphone. If you have a condenser microphone, man, it is going to pick up everything in the world. Okay. So here's the catch. This is why I'm falling so much in love with dynamic microphones. Dynamic microphones. This is a Shure 57. It's a bad boy. Okay. 57s. Okay. RE20s. Shure SM7Bs. Okay. They are my go to microphones now for doing tracking in small vocal booths that are made into closets. And the reason why is because you put this bad boy in a closet, in a small closet, it's going to pick up really the proximity effect. It's going to work excellent on this microphone. So what I mean by that is the closer you get to the microphone, the deeper it sounds, right? And so a good vocalist can work this microphone to his benefit for laying down those sweet, intimate moments in the passages of the verses or stepping back and welling into it. But here's the thing, man, if he's using a dynamic microphone, it's not going to get so much of that room sound in the closet into the track. And this is what you want, man. You do not want your closet, the size of your closet reflecting on in your mix, because then you're working around that once you start laying your delays and everything down. It's actually here in the room. It's no different than when we do a mix and we're listening to our monitors. Sorry about that, man. It never fails. My phone goes off. But when we're listening to our monitors in our studio, it's imperative that we're listening to our monitors and doing the mix rather than mixing to what we hear in the room. And it's no different than whenever you're doing your tracking, you want to make sure that you're not tracking the room as part of your mix, unless it's intended, unless you want that, unless you just have a beautiful room and you're the engineer and you're playing all the parts and you know how much delay and all the other good stuff that's going into the mix. Because here's the thing, once you track with it, you're stuck with it. Okay. And there's nothing worse than getting a great vocal track and deciding later on after the fact that you do not like the way the room sounds in the mix. Because here's the thing, when you're laying your bed tracks, let's just say you got a bass track, a guitar track, and maybe a piano track, and maybe just a click track, that room's going to sound really, really good, perhaps with what you already have. But here's the gig, man. Once you start laying other tracks and doubling tracks and all that other stuff to thicken things up, to make to do the build type mix, as you progress in the song, you're adding other key elements. You're adding ear candy things to the mix to actually create that build. And by the end of the song, man, you got this huge arrangement going on. You may not like that daggum vocal track anymore. And those vocals, that room that sounded really, really good, isn't going to sit in that mix anymore. And here you've got this great vocal track that you're stuck with the room in it. Nothing more frustrating, man. And I wanted to let you guys know that, because this is very, very important and imperative. And look, if you can catch it beforehand and realize what you're up against. If you're in a small closet, okay, if you're having to track in a small closet, try a dynamic microphone. Get your Shure SM7B, man, and throw it in there. Open the door to the closet, because one reason that we build vocal booths is to isolate the outside sound from getting into the microphone, right? We don't want to hear cars going by. We don't want to hear the train going off. We don't want to hear motorcycles getting on it down the street. We don't want to hear anything going into our vocal mic when we're doing our tracking, man. So it's imperative, and that's why all of us want to build a vocal booth to put the vocalists in to keep outside noise from getting into the mic. So here's the thing, if you have a closet that's inside of a room, inside of the house, these are the best closets to record in. It doesn't matter about the size, because here's the thing. If you look at that thumbnail that I took on the front that you actually clicked on this video, this is a vocal booth that's that's a closet inside of a bathroom that's inside of this house, so it's a room inside of a room inside of a room. Now, here's the thing. If I shut the door to that small vocal booth and try to record in there with this SM57, it's not nearly as good as if I leave the door open and then actually track with the 57, I mean, the SM7B. I'm sorry about that. So the SM7B is my go-to mic in a small closet every single time, way more than a condenser microphone of any sort. Okay, so if you're tracking in a closet, use your dynamic microphone, man. It's going to change the way everything sounds in the mix, and you're going to hear the microphone, and you're going to hear the vocalist, and you're not going to hear so much the room anymore, man. So I hope that gives me 5 stars for letting you in on that tip, because it took many, many, many experimentations and listening to other engineers as their advice on tracking in a small vocal room. So maybe you don't have that. Maybe your closet is inside the same room as your mixing room. Here's the thing, man. If you're using a dynamic microphone, you may be able to still get away with it, because dynamic microphones reject sound from the rear really, really well, especially the Shure SM7B and even the 57, the SM57 by Shure rejects noise from the rear. So if you can set it up to where your closet's like this way and the door's in front and opens up to the studio, you can set your microphone this way to the vocalist, and your monitors are over here going this way. He can still hear the monitors and still be able to track with the Shure SM7B and nail those tracks, perhaps even without even headphones on. So I know a lot of times when you're wearing headphones, the vocalist, he'll sing a little sharp, or he'll sing a little flat, or he'll say, the mix isn't right. Can you turn it up? And then the next thing you know, you got it cranked up so loud, then he's hearing it too loud. So having a great mix for your vocalist is also just as imperative, right? So here's the thing, man. If you're having trouble even doing that, okay, for you beginners or whatever, or you're just starting out, man, put your vocalist in the closet, put him behind a Shure SM7B, turn up the monitors just loud enough to where he can get in the vibe of things. And it'll be like he's singing in the shower, right? He can hear himself singing, and he can hear the speakers in the room. And if your microphone's placed just strategically right, man, in that closet in your vocal booth, he is going to nail the tracks every time. He is going to love recording in your studio, man. And he's even going to love your little vocal booth that you created. Now, the vocal booth that you're looking at on the thumbnail there is this is actually a house that was built 67 years ago. So it's an old house, man. If you notice in that thumbnail, there was paneling in front of those. I don't know if you call that shiplap wood or whatever. So behind all the paneling, there's wood behind the walls. So it doesn't matter where you hammer a pitch or whatever, man, you're gonna nail into solid virgin wood. So I knew that, man. It was like, oh, I gotta make a little vocal booth out of this um closet in the bathroom, man. I don't need it. I don't need to put any stuff in it. I don't need this closet. It's going to work great because it's a room inside of a room inside of the house. So it's real important if there's things going on during the day that I don't pick up a bunch of outside noise, right? Now late at night, and if it's just me, 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, it quietens down around here, and I can break out my nice ribbon R44 microphone, or I can break out my nice AK-47 right here, and roll this bad boy in the room and do some tracking late night with it. But if it's during the day and I want, and I'm having to deal with outside noise, always go to your dynamic microphones, man. You're going to love them in the mix. They're going to sound great. They're going to sound great in those small closets that most of us have to deal with. And here I wanted to share this too with you, man. If you have a closet that's in a bathroom that you can use it, man. If you don't have a bunch of tile in there, in my bathroom, it's that whole old hardwood floors, and like I say, the walls are all wood. And so when I open that little door, man, it's just great because it doesn't sound like I'm in a little bitty room recording, and I'm actually real close or pretty close to this. If you notice in that picture, I've got this Shure SM7B above the head like this. So it's actually, I'm singing underneath the microphone like this, not so high that I'm having to lift my head, because you don't want your vocalists looking up to try to sing in the microphone. They're not going to sing correctly if they're having to tilt their head back. So you want it low enough to where they're looking straight ahead and they can relax with their hands down by their side and properly, well it out and sing it and with confidence. So anyway, I hope this video helps you out tonight, man, each and every one of you. But I did want to say this before I let you go, man. If you don't know what this show is about, I just want to say thank you for joining in for the first time, the Audio Master Show. We got so much going on here, man. We do open box reviews. We do anything to talk about microphones. I am a microphone geek lover and have been collecting microphones for many years. I also like to do shows on about how-to tips, what not to, how to get started, what's the best stuff to get started with, and just all kind of cool stuff. So if you haven't subscribed, man, hit that subscribe button and slam that bell. And I wanted to tell you, we also got our new Audio Master t-shirts out, man. Check this out, baby. These babies are so fun with the blue stars and the red letters. Look, I want to show you this, man. It's got the stars on the sleeve too. It's got the stars on the sleeve that ties in with the front on the front here. And then it's got the YouTube here on the side of the sleeve. Look, this is that tri-blend shirt that really stretches. It's super, super comfortable, man. Super comfortable for the summertime. And I wanted to tell you guys this, man. The next 20 subscribers that hit that subscribe button, man, and participate in hanging out with me. And I know that you're a real YouTube subscriber and not just whatever. And you start participating, I will send you a free t-shirt by mail. And but here's the gig. You got to live in the United States. If you don't live in the United States, I'm not shipping this shirt overseas, dude. So you got to live in the United States. And if you do, and you're a real subscriber and you are a real person, anyway, I will send you an Audio Master t-shirt. They're great. They look great, and they just feel great. And everybody wants to be an Audio Master, man, right? Because we all can always continue to learn, right? So I appreciate you guys joining in tonight. And also, if you slam that bell, get you a grand slam, man. It'll notify you when I come on. You don't want to miss out, man. We got so many cool things going on here, man. And we're teaching some great things that it takes a lot of you novice out there many, many, many years to figure out all these cool little secrets that's going to get you down the road a lot further and put you on a different plateau. Every time you join the show, the Audio Master Show, you will learn something here on this show, and you're going to dig it, man. You're going to dig it. So join along, hang out with us, man. And remember, those small closets, man, get you a Shure SM7B. Look at this bad boy. I mean, all your rock stars and everything, man, they're going to the Shure SM7B. And here's the thing. I've been watching a lot of them lately in the studio and live gigs, and this is what they're doing. Watch this. They're taking this microphone, and they're taking the daggum windscreen off. They're taking the windscreen off of this bad boy, and they're singing through it just like that, man. I'm telling you, man, this is the most overlooked microphone all these years, man. They came out with this mic, I want to say, in 1973. 1973, dude. So it's been out a long time. Michael Jackson used it on the Thriller album. And look, man, I want to say this. If the dude can sing through this microphone, uh, and he has the opportunity to sing through $20,000 mics, it's got to tell you something about how bad to the bone this smoker is, man. Get you one. They're $3.99. I'm gonna put a little link down there below too if you want to get one. Make it easy. It's the fastest shipping known to man, and they'll get it right out to you. But look, if you don't have one of these bad boys, you got to get it in your studio. Put it in that small closet, man. You're gonna love it. You're gonna turn your tracks around. Put that condenser away and save it for a rainy day in a bigger room in a different application. Get you a dynamic microphone in that small closet. Open the door to that small closet if you're in a room inside of a room, and you're going to love it, man. Your tracks are going to come to life, and you're going to thank Audio Master for letting you in on that deal, man. So thank you guys for joining in. Until tomorrow, we will see you later.